Got a couple of questions for you guys. How often do you guys actually use your diagonal cutters? Do you buy the same tool twice, more than once, if you really like it, or do you have like a mental block about it? And do you guys watch for entertainment? Do you watch for knowledge? What are you guys after when you click on these channels and they're providing you electrical content or knowledge? This brings me to one of my first points. This channel was founded on no BS. So for example, this tool here can barely grab this screw. With it shut, you can still move this screw. No one ever mentioned that. And it's examples like that of why I started this channel. Just to give you guys the raw knowledge based on my experience. I feel like there's a lot of bias in all communities in general, but there's an extra just agenda to push on certain brands and stuff. A Vito here, and it's a fantastic bag, but Milwaukee's got this pack out for half of the price, and we're gonna be showcasing this here pretty soon. But I just want to talk about the bang for your buck and just different tools. We've got a whole box full of Milwaukee tools to try out. Right off the bat, something else that you're not going to hear about. When you're using a screwdriver and you've got your left hand here, if you're a right-hander, and you're spinning this is just tearing up this portion of your finger, isn't it? Doesn't that make sense? Like, there's so many people making stuff that shouldn't be making tools for certain trades. Does it make sense to grab a pair of channel locks and they don't even close fully? Like if you, they're fully closed. So they can't get any more closed, but they're still open. These are closed. They're ready to grab whatever you need to. Between my toner videos, my tracing videos, all that stuff. For me, that's what YouTube is all about. It's about the honest, raw knowledge. When I want to figure out how to work on a car or something, I go to YouTube. So that's what this channel is for you guys, with my experience, to let you guys know what's good, what's bad, what works, and why. Most importantly, why. Not, hey, this is shiny, you should go buy it. So the other question is, how often do you guys use diagonal cutters? Are you switching between tools? When you need to cut something, do you actually put down whatever's in your hand that's capable of cutting? And do you switch tools to make that cut? Does it even make sense? A lot of the stuff that you see on some of these channels, a lot of the stuff is like EU or UK or whatever you want to call it, where they're not twisting wires together. So a lot of their tools are not the same as what we have. In the US, we're physically making joints on wires and we're twisting them together and pulling at the same time. A lot of those pliers are not necessarily designed to make the same kind of joints that we make here. So a lot of these brands that look really good, and they can make them look really good on YouTube, trust me, they're actually not the best thing that you guys could be using. So how often are you guys using your diagonals? Are you actually switching, or what are you doing? For me, my first pair of diagonals was a pair of commercial electrics that I had until about 2014. I started roughly in 2007, and I went all the way until 2014 with the same pair of crappy diagonal cutters. You just don't use them, especially in construction. The only time that I really used my diagonal cutters is when I was pulling wire. And when I say pulling wire, I've talked about this in some lives before and stuff, but when you're pulling wire, you're actually not physically pulling the wire. That's probably the easy part. There's a lot of prep to pulling wire. So you're pulling just a whole bunch of wire off of spools. You might pull out 10,000 feet of wire before you even get ready to pull it into the conduit. So you're pulling multiple sets, multiple boats. You're having to number each side of the wire so you know which wire is what number and where it goes and all that stuff. And that's when I pull out my diagonal cutters. So it came up because I'm having to rebuy a whole bunch of tools. That's why I've got all this new stuff, and some of it's giveaway, some of it's not. But the point is, I've got kind of a mind block about buying the same tool twice. It's got to be really, really good for me to buy the same tool twice. And I'm going to show you some that I bought twice, maybe even 3 times. Here's a tool that you can buy 100 times and it's still going to be as good as the first one that you got out of the box. The consistency is awesome. This is about as good as it gets. These Klein toners, when Klein first came out, they're a little bit rocky. They're kind of like Milwaukee is with some of their electronic tools or multimeters and stuff. It's kind of like, but hopefully it'll get better. But they've really hit the nail on the head with these Klein toners and tracers and stuff. This one's an Ideal. I feel like Ideal is still the superior tracer. But in this box here somewhere, I actually did buy a new Klein tracer just so we can try it out for you guys. Now, you know me, I switched from the 12-volt line of DeWalt to the 12-volt line of Milwaukee, and then back and forth, and even use a little bit of Makita. The 12-volt line for DeWalt is really good. It's really lightweight. It's really small. You cannot beat the power to weight ratio when it comes to the M12 platform. You get the most power for what you're doing in the smallest form when it comes to the M12. The DeWalt stuff is so tiny though. This is a 20-volt battery. You can see, it's just clear to see why you would want to use a DeWalt for this trade versus the M12. But all that's about to change. Milwaukee's fixing to come up with a smaller forged stack lithium battery, and it's going to pretty much make these obsolete and blow this out of the water. There's another tool that I would not hesitate to buy twice. It's perfect in every way. It auto senses volts AC and DC. It's got your amperage, which you don't use that often. You really don't use too much hot work in the field. Good for troubleshooting, but then there's other meters for that. Got continuity. It's a perfect construction meter. Really robust, really well built. This thing here is a piece of crap unless you like having all of your nut drivers in one thing and then having to keep track of all the individual pieces while you use it. And then it's good at everything, but not really good at anything specifically. I'd avoid this one. Don't really recommend this thing. Good Ideal fish tapes. Milwaukee's coming out with some fish tapes. We'll see how they do. This is my second one of these. I bought it because I'm stuck in the DeWalt platform. It's known to have a couple of issues. It's definitely the better bang for your buck if you can deal with the failures to fix it. It's less than 20 bucks every time it fails, and after about 50 bucks you got a really solid compressor. Out of the gate though, I had a really rocky start with mine. This is a new one. I haven't had any issues yet, but I'd probably buy it again. The field piece is one of the best bangs for your buck. You get all the features, all in one multimeter. You got to pay extra money just to get a couple of the features on this field piece that you would on a Fluke. Fluke's going to outlast the field piece all day, but best bang for your buck. Steer clear of these. Are heavy for no reason. The smooth jaw is a nice feature, but otherwise useless for the electrical trade. Milwaukee's made a pretty good pair of diagonal cutters. They could absolutely replace your Klein, but I'm just not a fan of the first gen of these where they got this bump here for no reason. They should have smoothed it out before they put the handles on. They could really get bumped in your tool bag or something. Tear up your handles faster. They're okay, but like I said before, are you actually switching out a tool that you already have in your hand just to cut wire to put these back? I don't see it happening. I think they knocked it out of the park with this Klein design. The mod box, this is one of the mods, and they just did a really good job on it. I would buy the mod box again over anything right now. Just the mods. I mean, the magnet is like really good. This is a nice saw. This is the Evolution. This is our multi-material cutting blade, and it cuts through rigid like butter. Now, I gotta let you know, they did send me this, but it's been fantastic so far. I've got no problem recommending it. Nothing to report so far, but the second that there is an issue with it, you will be the first to know. Good value otherwise. They sent me their saw too. It makes really straight cuts right out of the gate. Assembly was a little bit difficult, but it's too new for me to even say anything else about. I've owned all the generations of Milwaukee bags. They've all been stolen. This is no exception. This is going to be a good bag. I already know it's going to be a good bag. It's got the hard shell to protect your instruments, your multimeters, things like that. It's got all the pockets for your control screwdrivers. It's got the proper shaped pockets for success. A lot of tool bags do not. This is great for lead storage, so you're not poking your bag, or a sheetrock saw, because it's hard inside there. It's a hard shell. This new Klein set, I think it's like 30 bucks for the set. You can buy it local. You can buy it at the store. They're great. These are just kind of whatever, but you know what, honestly, I think that these, because they close zero, are actually more useful than these. And that's saying a bunch, because you guys know that I don't necessarily like everything Milwaukee comes out with. This is old news. These things have been out forever. Never really liked them the day that I bought them. I don't know, 6-7 years ago. I wanted to try these out, and this is just a huge letdown. Huge waste of money here. These are going to be good on the fly. This is what they call a no-dog. This is an anti-dog leg device for a conduit. Stick it to your conduit. I'll show you guys how to use this in the live stream. It's a little bit big, but it's in the store. It's available. We're going to try it out. Nothing fancy, no batteries. This just finds the stud using a magnet. Finds the nails behind the wall. Simple. As far as I'm concerned, it's hard to beat a Diablo blade. They're proven. We're going to be checking out the multi-material blades from Evolution, but those are pretty good. Now, I like the shape of this. I don't know if it's going to be good or bad. The taller one was fantastic, absolutely perfect. I'm really excited to try this out. The blades, this is just a good case. It just works. It doesn't fail. You slide the blade out. You push this to advance the next blade. You slide the next blade out. It just works, okay? Just spend the extra money and get this. Keep your blade safe. It doesn't break. It just works. Owned one of these years ago. It folds. It's perfect. It folds, so it protects all your tools. You don't stab anything. It's just good. I can already tell you the Tough Builts are better than this, but I bought it to try it out. I know for a fact that this is softer. Having second thoughts about this now that I'm talking to you guys about it, because I knew it was a piece of garbage when I bought it, and I thought I wanted to show you guys anyway, but it's probably not even worth my time or my money. The Tough Builts are better in every way. Now, I've got the best toner tracing video on YouTube. The comments do not lie. I'm excited to try this out for you. It looks interesting. Keep in mind, it's half the price, and as a homeowner, this is probably perfect for you. You don't need to be spending 80 bucks when this will do the job for 40. We're going to be showing you how to use it and testing it out. Like I said before, we got this for you guys to show you if it's as good as the Ideal. The Ideal is right here in this bag. We're going to try this out for you. Don't mistake how useful this pulling line can be. It's good to have. You need to have this with you, and not need it than not have it and need it. I hope I said that right. We're going to try out the control screwdriver. Looks interesting. Nothing wrong with the climb one, but we just got to try things out for you. This looks cool. I've been trying to get this one from Home Depot for quite some time. Holds your screwdrivers and things like that. Goes on the pack out wall. Really excited to try this out. It's going to be a nice display. Easy to find your tools. Lowe's has their freaking Ideal for like $14. This thing was like $30 or something. I will be returning this. What can I say? They're Allen wrenches. Klein makes them. Milwaukee makes them now. I like that it's got the sizes, easy to see. Yeah, looks pretty good. This is a longer one that I was talking to you guys about. Fantastic. Fits in the pouch nice and slim. Take these bits out and put your favorite bits in. These suck. Then you got this. Same thing as the other nut driver. Kind of useless, but good to have because you can have everything you need in one place. But otherwise useless. You're not going to be stopping and switching all this crap out. It's just good to have everything in one spot. But realistically, you're not going to be switching out every 5 seconds to do something. It's just too slow. Okay, that's all the time we got for now. Here's some tools that we got. Check out the lives. We don't mess around. We show you real time what's going on, what to expect. Nothing is staged. Nothing's ever staged. But especially on the lives, you can't stage anything. That's why we do them. So appreciate all the support. Thanks to all the members. Leave a comment what you guys think and down below. Do you guys stop and switch out your diagonal cutters, or do you just get the task done? And do you guys buy the same tool twice? See you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.